though. So, Keith, first of all, your thoughts on how the president-elect handled the questions today.
Well, I think the conversation you just had with Natasha, to some extent, shows that he handled it pretty well. He's got people talking about the ethics of the media, the appropriateness of BuzzFeed's action in publishing what were secret and classified documents. So he saw an opportunity to divide the media against itself, and he took it. That's a good day for Donald Trump. He also was able, in the same way, to use, of all things, the New York Times to buttress his own argument that it's all just fake news. His argument essentially now is, if the New York Times isn't going to publish it because they don't trust it, why should anybody else? So I think, in as far as that particular issue goes, I think it certainly was a good day for Donald Trump, and probably a worrisome day for the White House press corps when they saw how effectively he was able to divide them.
So, you know, Trump called the claims unsubstantiated. They're unverified. But does that matter at this point? I mean, at the end of the day, I guess what people would want to know is whether or not there's some truth to what's in these documents.
Yeah, of course. It always matters whether what is published by the media is in fact true. We can't ever step away from that. But had BuzzFeed not gone ahead with publishing the details of the document, it would still have been a big story. It would have been the big story that CNN began with when they said that the President Barack Obama and the President-elect Donald Trump had both been briefed on this document. Because, I mean, to have that information in front of him, the President-elect has to know that this is his intelligence service doing the best job that they can on information that they have said they believe with high certainty. If he disagrees with that, that is, again, a very, very disturbing thing to happen publicly. For him to say, as he said in the clip that you ran, to liken this to the kind of things that happened in Nazi Germany, talking about his own intelligence services is an extraordinary thing. And it raises doubts about whether the public, as well as Donald Trump, can really trust the information coming out of those intelligence services should the United States be in an international crisis. That kind of trust relationship is essential for the president to have with his security services, his intelligence services, if he's going to take action. And what we're seeing now is a rift between the intelligence community and Donald Trump that is getting wider and wider every day, and that's of grave concern. That matters regardless of whether there was any truth in the document.
And can I ask you, I know you can't sort of get into Donald Trump's head per se, but do you know exactly what he was trying to say when he made that reference to Nazi Germany?
Oh man, he is trying to, in many different ways, that is the most extreme. He is trying to construct a narrative where the intelligence services who are saying things that might be detrimental to him have ulterior motives for doing it and who are working against them. It's a very short-sighted tactic on his part. It may serve his own needs or the needs of the base of the party to believe that there is no truth whatsoever to these allegations that Russia actively interfered in the U.S. election, but to actually throw the intelligence services under the bus or overboard or whatever because you believe that. I mean, that is just a very, very destructive thing in the medium and long term. And
I guess this is a speculative question for you, Keith, though. But I mean, the key question is again, unverified, unsubstantiated, uncorroborated. We know all that. We say that over and over again because it's important to point that out. But if there is truth to some of this, does that put Donald Trump's presidency in some kind of peril?
Well, look. Let me just add the context to this. There's a reason why people are taking as sharp interest in this as they are. There's a reason why there might be a willingness to believe among members of Congress some of the details of this. And that is because the question about Donald Trump's relationship with Russia and with Vladimir Putin has been a question that's been hanging over him for months and months. Why does he always take the side of Russia or defend Putin? Why did he take the side of Russia against his own intelligence services when he was talking about the alleged hacking of the election? Given that context, I mean, there's enough suspicion around already. If it turned out that the allegation about him exchanging information with a foreign government to interfere with the U.S. election is true and verifiable, that's an extraordinary thing. That is a very serious thing that would raise questions about whether he continues to be the President of the United States. But we haven't seen any indication yet of that kind of verification, none whatsoever.
All right, Keith, thank you.